We got a good crowd. Got a great group of folks here. We can maybe go ahead, get started. Yes, please, everyone introduce yourselves in the chat. Say hello, build community. Um, Hope everyone's doing okay out there, staying safe, having a good time. Um, Welcome to our first GovAI Coalition meeting of 2026. Happy 2026, y'all. Um, Please introduce yourselves in the chat. Say hello. I see some people cheering for the Seahawks. That's fine. You can also cheer for Patriots if you're a fan of them. Um, I've dropped a link in the chat for the slide deck. You know, if you've been here, we drop a lot of links throughout the meeting. So click on that link to the slide deck, and you should have the links to everything that we're talking about here. Um, and we also have our January newsletter in there as well. Um, Let's see, we can move on to the next slide. So that, for those of you that are here for the first time, welcome. This is the GovAI Coalition. At the end of the day, this is a space for us in government and our partners to navigate how we are using AI and the most innovative technologies out there to serve our communities better, making sure that public sector AI serves the public good. We have 6 different spaces where we operate in right now. We have our readiness and adoption, helping people, well, get ready and adopt AI responsibly and effectively. Understanding the data governance behind AI, procuring useful, valuable tools responsibly, understanding how we partner with our industry in making the best tools for the public sector, finding the right use cases for our public sector, and of course, engaging our community and bringing them along with us for innovating. We can move to the next slide. Our January newsletter is out. We've got a bunch of interesting announcements and articles from there. Huge congrats, as you can see on the cover of the newsletter, to 4 of our coalition members that made it onto Apolitical's Government AI 100. We got, of course, we got Khalid, we got Bianca, Harrison, and Andrew. So if you guys are in the chat, shout out. Fantastic job. Love to see it. I'm taking it as a bit of pride for the coalition that everyone in state and local government in the US that was on this list is a part of the coalition. So congrats to everyone here. This is, of course, part of the community. Um, and if you see those folks in the chat, say hi, message them. And again, people ask me all the time, how do I get started with the coalition? How do I find my space here? My best recommendation right here is you're going to see a lot of people talking. Click on that start new chat in Zoom and just start messaging people. Say hi, see who's around your area. This is the space for us to build that community. Next slide. Next thing I want to just highlight is our registry is live. It is here in beta testing. It is hosted thanks to the great work from Hortus, who has partnered and built the registry for us. This is a space that we've really been asking for uh, over a year now on how do we find AI tools that are transparent enough so that we can see what's actually useful about them. If you've been in the coalition for a while, you might remember us first developing things like the AI fact sheet. This is a space where that information is hosted now. And during this beta, it is not only is the marketplace available to anyone, but the you can create and register an account for free on the site using our code coalition to be able to join and add things. And this includes vendors. So if you're a vendor and you're thinking, how do I get myself in front of 900 government agencies that are here looking to use AI? Go on, register your product, become a part of the conversation. This is a great place to get started, and make sure that we're all taking those steps towards responsible and effective AI here in the public sector. We can move to the next slide. Awesome. So given that this is the start of 2026, the coalition board has been doing a lot of work ever since the summit back in November around charting the next steps for the GovAI Coalition. What does 2026 look like for us, and what does 27, 28, 29, 30 look like for us? What I'm going to walk through is just a little bit of how we've been building a strategy for the GovAI Coalition, and then I'm going to pass it to the board to share that strategy. Can you move to the next slide? So I want to give a huge thank you to everyone on this call, to the entire coalition. We have been able to have fantastic conversations, whether it be individual conversations in the summit, the meetings that we had at the town hall, the summit survey, conversations with our board, and just the day-to-day conversations that we're having in all of our committee meetings. We've been able to take that input, put it down, and find something that we can incorporate in a way that builds a cohesive strategy for the coalition. If you go to the next slide, we heard a lot of value from our members, and there's four things that really stuck out with us from you all. One, the value of trust. We heard time and time again that we are trusted for government by government, and that is something that we do not take lightly. That we are inclusive to all governments and its partners, that this is a space for all of us to come together. That we offer an ability for any government agency, whether they're just getting started with AI or they've been here since ChatGPT first rolled out or even before then, that this is a space to fast track that maturity so that everyone can learn from the person that's in the front of the pack. And last but certainly not least is that we're fighting for the public good. This is a space where we are all finding ways at the end of the day to just serve our communities better. And I think that's a very powerful mission that us all in the public sector do bring to the table. And it's something that we heard time and time again from members of the coalition. I believe there's one more slide, then I'll pass it to the board, because this is similar to what we've heard from our conversations directly with our board members. Making sure that the coalition is able to thrive well into 2030, that we are able to move into more practical paths to show how AI can be used safely, effectively, worth our time here in the public sector. We're seeing that agentic AI is on the horizon. How can we in the coalition be a part of the conversation to make sure that it's built for the public sector in mind? And of course, one thing that we've heard time and time again is training. How do we make sure that all of our staff, our leadership, our policymakers, that we have a unbiased, better understanding of how AI works and how it can and cannot yet be used in the public sector. So with all that preamble, I want to hand it off to Khalid, our chair of the board, to go a bit into our strategy.
Thanks, Albert, and Happy New Year, everyone. I think we still can celebrate till the end of January. But our mission continues to be, for the coalition, is to enable the public sector AI to serve the public good through three things: resource sharing, establishing standards, and advocacy. It is always important to have a mission, a clear mission, simple to remember, so we can always guide all our efforts toward a common understanding of what we're trying to accomplish and where we're going with the coalition. Next slide. And we're going to accomplish that by focusing on three things. Our goal over the next 4 years, or what we call the 2030 vision, is to promote successful AI adoption. What would it take for all of us to find a way to share resources, learn from each other, and work together to make sure all of us are successful and all of us are implementing solutions that can benefit the public in a safe and responsible manner. And the second focus area will be our people, our workforce. How can we carefully develop plans and programs to help the workforce to be ready to guide, ready to lead, and also ready to deliver these special services to make sure that AI is, again, used responsibly and effectively, hopefully nationwide and maybe worldwide even. And last but not least, how can we influence the direction and contribute to the future of AI in government and potentially also outside of government? because the more we are relevant, the more we can make a difference, the more we can bring responsible and effective use of AI. And with that, I will turn it over to Jamie.
Thank you, Khaled, and so nice to see everybody. Happy New Year from the Twin Cities in Minnesota. I'm going to talk just really briefly about the promotion of AI adoption. This is work that is really centered around the work of a few of us. So use cases, which I have been a part of since the beginning of the GovAI Coalition. Absolutely love what we're doing, what we're learning together. It has to do with procurement. And it has to do with working with our amazing vendors who are supporting us. So really what we're looking is to create this cycle in which we continue to support one another, which starts with a member coming to the GovAI Coalition with a business need, right? This is what I need for my city. This is what I need to do for my county, for my state. They're able to then use our tool that was just discussed, Trellis, and our AI registry in order to find what they need and to really vet it, to understand, is this going to be safe? Is this going to be secure? Is this vetted? Is this something that someone else has used? Ideally, once they find what they need, they'll be able to purchase that through a cooperative contract or a shared service. We're still working through those pieces. But from there, they can deploy with advice from the GovAI Coalition members who have been through this before, who have shared learnings to help walk through a successful implementation. And then from there, the entity will share their experience with the GovAI Coalition to help those who are coming ahead of them to do that, to kind of run through that same virtuous circle. So really excited to help, take our baseline that we've put together over the last couple of years and create this system where we're just kind of continuing to bring value to our cities based on what we know and what we've learned together. And with that, I will pass it on to talk more about workforce.
Awesome. I think that's me. Thank you, Jamie. I am Sabra Schneider from Bellevue, Washington. Go Hawks. And Albert, I don't think there is another team you could possibly be rooting for right now. I'm just saying. I'm here today to talk about training and what the coalition has done to build on training. So first, over the past year and going forward, coalition members have raised the need for training across a number of different interest areas. One of those that we've been really successful and effective at is public safety. So we've had folks developing custom training for firefighters and police. So coalition member talks about the need for training for a certain workforce element. The coalition identifies existing training needs to meet that need for training, and that might be that we're curating training that exists in the world and vetting it and then offering it up. If training doesn't exist in the world for a particular need, like the police and fire example, then the coalition will work with either members or partners to fulfill those training gaps and then ideally long-term offer training. We know none of us will be successful without training across our jurisdictions, and I would even expand that to our communities. So we take this element of what we're doing in the coalition very seriously. And I believe I am passing on to Ethan now.
Thank you, Sabra. Ethan Benetan here from TriMet in Portland, Oregon, the regional transit agency serving our 3-county region. And I'm super excited to talk about what Khaled mentioned earlier, which is the ways that the coalition can look to the future to shape the development of AI. So really getting in front of responding to it and thinking about how we could steer it where we want. And while this slide is mostly about agentic AI, I actually want to talk about 3 different approaches that we're considering at the board level now, and I'd love to hear your feedback on it. For the first one, and it's kind of a near-term one, right? We can steer development to our needs simply by identifying unmet needs or opportunities for AI products or services that are shared by multiple coalition members. And I want to thank my fellow board member, Jonathan Benke, for bringing up a very timely one. If you're in California, you probably know about AB 339 that's imposed a new work stream on every public agency. And they're crying out for a way to support it. So simply by coordinating our ask to AI developers, we can create a market. And that could go anywhere from just a very informal signaling to a very structured approach to say, hey, how can we work with development teams and AI developers to produce things that governments need? Another thing that we have been doing really well so far and that you've been participating in, we have developed standards, values really for what we want to see AI do for the public good. So when we think about preventing bias and keeping human in the loop and preserving privacy, all those values that we care about, those are super important, but we can go further. We could actually create meaningful objective standards for how we can assess how an AI solution supports those values. And by making that an objective assessment, we could help agencies make rapid and smart decisions about what they want to adopt. And we're also signaling to the AI developer community very clearly how they can produce things that are important to government. And then last and third, moving into the agentic sphere, agents are manifestations of AI that are going to take actions on our behalf to go and achieve goals for us. And so it's going to be super important that acting in the public good, we can predict and control their behavior so that it's safe and stays in the public good. And in order to do that, we need a language and we need standards that will enable agent behavior to be predictable and manageable and auditable. Those standards don't exist today, but we could have a hand in shaping that future. And by having established standards for how an agent could behave, we'll help developers speed what they're doing and target it for us, and will help our production, our adoption of agents that are safe and effective, and that will speed up the realization of benefits for government. So those are three ways that we're thinking about shaping the future of AI. And I want to hand it back to Albert to pull it all together now.
Thank you so much, Ethan. And thank you to our board members for, one, all working together to put this strategy before us for 26 and beyond, and also for presenting and sharing this out with the broader coalition. And I really invite everyone on this call, if you're thinking about where you can make a difference, how you can add a positive impact through the GovAI Coalition, whether it be helping agencies, helping yourselves, your own agencies, use AI effectively, responsibly, building out those use cases, building out that adoption, building out the training, or providing the training that you wish you had when you were first learning how to use something. Or if it's about future proofing, making sure that when we look back 10, 20 years down the line, crazy to think about, that the AI, whether it be agentic or whatever innovation is coming next, that we are helping steer it in a way that serves all of us. So, what can you expect coming into 2026? Well, right now, business as usual, but you can expect in the next couple of months that there might be some changes to committee meeting cadences. We might be reworking a few things to make sure that we can focus in on our goals. There might be some conversations around how committee structures and connections happen, especially as we're thinking about cross-committee types of things that go from use cases to procurement to vetting different AI products. And lastly, of course, you can expect new initiatives to pop up as we focus in on these three core areas. So stay tuned, start doing some thinking, think about what would be useful for your agency. And I'm excited for us to all bring it together in the next couple of months. So with that, I'm going to pass it off to Layla to facilitate what's going on in the coalition right now in our committees.
Awesome. Thank you, Albert. And thank you so much to our coalition board for presenting our strategy for 2026. That was really really great to hear from all of you. Hi, everyone. I'm Layla Doty, Privacy and AI Analyst at the City of San Jose. If you're new here, this is the part of our monthly meetings where we go through updates from each of our 6 committees. So we're going to kick it off with our Community Engagement Committee. So I'm going to call on Meg and Liz.
Hi, Layla. Hi, everyone. Greetings from the Community Engagement Committee. In our January meeting, we had a really great discussion with Kate Stoll and Chris Jordan, and they brought to us a document that they've been working on all about questions to ask when considering data centers in your community. It was really thorough, and they gave us an opportunity to actually help give feedback in real time. So that was really great. And I think a lot of us are being approached about data centers right now. So this was a really helpful document once it's published. Just to give everyone an update, the Community Engagement Handbook that we worked on in 2025 is in final edits. And our next focus is going to be creating materials to address the negative perceptions of AI. I think we all face this when we're probably introducing AI and we're trying to be transparent about our AI use. So that's going to be the next thing we work on for community materials. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Liz. Next up is our Readiness and Adoption Committee. So Rich and Sahara, over to you.
Thanks so much, Layla, and happy to see everybody today. The Readiness and Adoption Committee has been diligently working on quite a few projects since our last check-in in November. With AI upskilling, Lon Jensen and Rick Rafey continue to lead this very energetic and growing working group that's focused on moving agencies from interest in AI to practical readiness. The group is really finalizing a set of playbooks and visual summaries, including the first one that we're planning to launch, the Getting Started with AI Training Playbook that was initially drafted by Marty Wolford with input from the larger working group and committee. This really helps agencies lay a foundation for AI training in their agency. They're anticipating a release of this first playbook in February. And, in addition to what I've heard earlier, we'll also be launching a building custom GPTs and agents as well, sort of looking into agentic AI and using that. And Stephen Hill has been writing a lot of great content around that and would be a great expert and touch point on agentic AI, I think. Additionally, working on developing a certification curriculum and beginning to explore training productivity metrics. And those will both be big foundations for that working group for the year ahead. For policymakers, Maddie and Quinn from the Center of Democracy and Technology, who form our AI for Policymakers working group, wrapped up a major milestone with the AI governance checklist for elected officials and executive leaders who are advancing AI policy and legislative issues around AI. And this was mentioned also in the newsletter. There's a link to it in the newsletter, but I'll get a link to that into the chat as well. But this is a really great resource that provides recommendations aimed at building government-wide structures, strategies, and processes to advance AI in public sector around 5 core areas with linked resources for each recommendation they have. It's a really great resource. They're also in tandem with this launching a free panel session on February 3rd, How Can State and Local Governments Responsibly Use and Govern AI? That's free, and I'll drop the link to that as well in the chat so that you can register and distribute around to your agencies. Jim Brown in our fire service has been really working on getting the lessons, the AI lessons, into the fire engineering training platform. The first 3 lessons are live there. Fire Engineering Magazine, for those that you don't know, is a trusted source of fire training, and Jim has just done amazing work creating a partnership with them. The courses are free and hosted in their LMS environment. It's a great opportunity to meet fire professionals where they're already learning. So these classes are available now with lessons 4 to 8 still to come. And I'll also share that link around in the chat when I'm done here as well, so that you can, if you have fire professionals at your agency or in your network, you can distribute that to them, because you can go ahead and start on classes 1 to 3 while the others are being built. And Layla, the next slide really quickly. Thank you. Let's see, for AI and policing, Dan Healy from Susan City has been leading a really active and thoughtful group here on developing an AI usage pledge. along with a comprehensive toolkit for police agencies, and they're actively partnering with California Post. And they also wanted to highlight that Dan and another working group member, Katie Kinsey from Policing Project at NYU School of Law, represented the working group on a recent panel on AI and policing. So really great to see them sort of learning from other people, conveying their expertise, and hopefully bringing some stuff back to our working group and the content we're developing there. We're also, Anmel Rathore from City of South Bend is leading a new working group focused on AI workforce planning and change management. Many agencies are asking for help around this, don't yet have a roadmap, so the group is initially developing a survey to assess agency needs, which will help us shape resources potentially for that working group. And last but not least, Sahar Noor provides ongoing direct practical adoption support for agencies, one-on-one sessions that you can meet with her. If you or your agency needs hands-on adoption help, you can schedule time with Sahar. She can help you understand how to get started with AI implementation and utilizing and accessing the Greater Coalition's resources. So thank you so much. That's it for our working group.
Thank you so much, Rich. I'm so impressed by this committee. You guys have been so busy that you needed 2 slides just to fit all of your updates. So that's fantastic. Next up, we have the procurement committee. So I'll hand it off to Erin and Emily.
All right. Hi, everybody. So good to see you all. So at the procurement committee, we're really excited now that we have some major infrastructure pieces that Albert was alluding to in the strategy in the pipeline, such as our first pilot shareable contract initiative with the City of San Jose, which excitingly at their pre-bid conference hit a record number of attendees, which is like super, super cool. So we'll be providing some support to really assist with the remainder of the coalition being able to access and use that shareable contract after the evaluation process is completed. So that's super cool. And we also, as always, have our GovAI contract repository open and available for folks to peruse existing AI contracts. And now that we have both of those up and running, we are leveraging our procurement committee space for some knowledge sharing, specifically to invite cities that are working on different case studies for the use of AI in their actual procurement workflows. So we have some exciting themes coming up for these keynote sessions throughout the year. They're going to include AI for market research, which we had Aaron Bushman present on last week, which is super awesome. We're also going to look at AI-assisted drafting of RFPs, evaluation criteria, and scopes of work. So like, what are the pros and cons there? And the risks of using AI for that part of your procurement process. We're also going to look at AI-powered vendor communications, how you can leverage chatbots for customer service, for example, to help folks navigate your procurement workflow. And then finally, contract monitoring and management and what roles AI can play there. So that gives you a preview of maybe the next 6 to 8 months of learning in the procurement committee while we continue to manage and maintain our big infrastructure project. Thanks.
Thank you, Emily. Next up is industry relations. So Tegan and Yar, over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Layla. And hey, everybody, my name's Tegan Trammell. I'm one of the co-chairs for our industry relations committee alongside Yar. But what does this industry relations committee even do? I like to say we have kind of 2 main aspects that we focus on. First, we maintain and improve that AI registry that Albert talked a little bit about earlier. And then second, we actually maintain and develop relationships with our vendor community alongside our government agency community. And this vendor relationship is something that the GovAI Coalition never really looked into prior to last year. So I'm super, I guess, excited to say that we made some big steps in that over the year of 2025. But as Albert was talking about, we do have a new registry/marketplace available for everybody to go in and start using. I'll share that link as soon as I get done. Again, you can use the code Coalition for free access. Please don't pay. Please use that code. But as Albert said, I do want to echo, please go on, try it out, try to find vendors that you're interested in using in your organizations. and really, just experience the site. And we want to hear your all's feedback. We want to hear about your user experience because our partner at Fortis is really great about implementing that, those suggestions and, enhancing this marketplace. So if you do have any suggestions or feedback, please send them to anybody that you see on the screen here. And we'll make sure to get those implemented. But upcoming, our next meeting is scheduled for February 13th. That's at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And really excited about this next committee meeting because we are going to have our research team from Carnegie Mellon University there to present their, project that they've been working on for the past year. For the past year, they've been working to understand vendor-government relationships, identify gaps and challenges in these interactions, and even explore how outcomes are documented and evaluate to improve procurement processes. So super excited to hear what they've learned over this past year, and super excited to, take this research and help it guide our next steps as a committee during 2026. But again, as Albert mentioned earlier, we are going to do some changes to our upcoming meetings. We're going to go from 2 times a month, probably, to meeting only quarterly over this next period. But that won't happen until after this February 13th meeting. So hope to see everybody at our February 13th meeting and really have a great turnout for our CMU team. So I think that's about all I have, Layla. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, Tegan. And definitely, folks, please check out the AI registry while it's in open beta. You can use that code that's on the screen, Coalition in all caps, and we really appreciate any feedback that you have to share there. Next up is our use cases committee.
All right. Hi again, everybody. As we're kicking off the new year, we started with the AI registry. So our first meeting in January, we really took a tour of Trellis and asked committee members for feedback. So for those of you who have participated, please keep on using it, providing feedback. We meet twice a month, and we're going to continue doing that as we keep on moving forward in 2026. So our first meeting, which is normally the first Tuesday of the month, is really about demos and partnering with vendors to demo different products, things that are bringing value into the public sector. And then our second meeting is usually the third Tuesday of the month, and that is diving deeper into use cases, working as a team, just a lot of other fun things that we do. So to kick off our programming for this year, our demo session next Tuesday is going to focus on MCP. We're really taking a look at what is trending, where do we need to really insert ourselves in the public sector, and MCP is one of them. And we have a great coalition member who is really always on that leading edge of what is happening in the public sector. So really excited for that. I want to say we don't have any vendors lined up for that first February meeting. We're not asking for any for right now. That'd be a little bit too quick of a turnaround, but please, vendors, if you have a great product that you are working with a public sector entity to implement, or you have implemented and you want to share your story, please reach out to Nicole Sterling. She is looking for vendors to help demo along with her public sector partners, and that's a really great place where we can learn from you all. Our second meeting of February will be focusing on vibe coding. And that being said, if anyone in this community right now, if you're exploring MCP, if you've made any progress, if you have some valuable use cases, if you're vibe coding and you want to share what you're doing, we would love to hear from you. So please reach out to me and we'll get you signed up to just share a little bit with the use cases committee. Thanks y'all so very, very much. And we will turn it over to the data governance committee.
Thank you, Jamie.
Hi, everyone. This is Aarti Tangri. I am Data Governance Lead for the City of San Jose. We met just Monday this week, and we set the focus for 2026 for the Data Governance Committee. And there's an interest in working on a decision-making framework for approving data to be used in the agentic AI systems. With the considerations for transparency, traceability, security, especially when we're looking into all these prompt injections and data poisoning happening, making sure that we put those security measures in place. And then considerations for privacy, especially around not just with the data when the data is sensitive in itself, but when the non-sensitive data can be combined together with another non-sensitive data to the combination being sensitive. So looking out for those, building that into the decision-making framework, and then also looking at data quality and the trust in data when we use them for the agentic AI system. So that would be the focus for 26. For now, that's what we are. I think it's going to be a big task. We're still trying to figure out how to shape this work, but this is going to be our focus. We also would want to focus on the adoption for the deliverables we had from 2025. So we delivered on 2 templates, one the data sharing template, and then the other one was the data governance strategy template. So we'll be working with the adoption committee to figure out how we can get the word out and support the different government agencies in adoption of those templates. And then our next meeting will be moved to Feb 23rd instead of Feb 16th, which is a holiday for most government agencies. So look out for that update on our committee meeting. And that's it from us.
Thank you so much, Artie. All right, folks, that takes us to the end of our presentation for today. In terms of next steps, definitely check out our newsletter for January. There's lots of great information in there around updates around the AI industry and AI policy happening, so definitely check that out. Again, please sign up for the Beta AI Registry platform. We really, really appreciate any feedback that you have there. And if you're new to the coalition, check out the introductory video that we have linked here in the slide deck. It's a great place to start, and it gives you some tips on how to navigate the coalition's various resources and templates and how to get started in our committees. But with that, Happy New Year to everyone. It's so great to see you all here today. And if we don't see you before our next meeting, have a great rest of January and February, and see you February 25th at 1 p.m. PT. Thank you guys so much.
Go Seahawks.
Thank
Thank you,
everyone.
whoever said that. That's awesome.
Please no inflammatory comments in the
Code of conduct.
code of conduct, please, guys. Take care, everyone.
Bye. Thanks, everybody. See you tonight for those of you in the Northwest.